for rat. Good job, Lance. Anyhow. Chat, if y'all could, please spread the word. To the best of your ability. This is a significant winter storm that should be impacting the New York City area extremely soon. Gonna have blizzard-like conditions, and I'm gonna go through all of that. Checks out the DC. I'll take care of all that as we get into this. Loser, weenie, noob. Thanks, Dante. Stand inside the blizzard. Yeah, I will likely. That'll be tomorrow afternoon. But anyhow, welcome one, welcome all to another briefing. This is a winter weather briefing on the potential for a significant winter storm with very dangerous impacts to the New York City metropolitan area. So, welcome back to the Royal Wire 54 channel. I hope you all are having a fantastic day. So, we're going to go through all of this. There's a lot to cover. There's a lot to discuss. But the main thing we're going to be focusing on here is the winter storm warnings in and around the New Jersey, New York metropolitan area. That was a horrible circle. Main thing we're going to be focusing on is the winter storm impacts in the New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania area. We're likely could be seeing upwards of a foot plus of snow within these areas. So, welcome in. We're going to go through as much as we can information on this, as well as what you can do to prepare and stuff. What you can do to prepare and stuff like that with a very limited amount of time left till the storm actually hits. It is not snowing yet. It is not snowing yet. Super Sullivan in Maine, bruh. Thanks. Yeah, give me a minute here. Drag this really quickly. Give me 2 seconds here. Alright. Well. You don't need no snow, Morgan. Okay, Louisiana idiot. How's your afternoon? It's going alright. I'm glad I made the decision last night to turn off my weather radio before I went to sleep. Otherwise, I would have been bombarded about 4:30 in the morning with about 10 winter storm warnings. So I will pass on that. Alright, so with a few people here, we can get into this. I have to zoom out now. That's great. So taking a look here, we have a bunch of warnings across the board. Winter storm warnings blanketing the majority of the Northeast and some of the Mid-Atlantic states as well. So you can see Virginia, Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Jersey, New York, Connecticut, all involved in this. If we go further north and east, we can see the winter storm warnings extend to all the southern counties of Connecticut, and then majority of the southern counties in southeastern New York as well. We can see in Pennsylvania as well, extends all the way towards southwestern areas of Pennsylvania. Includes State College, includes Gettysburg, goes all the way to Johnstown. Du Bois is not quite in it. They have a winter weather advisory. So let's take a look at what we could really expect. You can see storm warnings as well blanketing the coastline. Riverhead not quite involved with a winter storm warning. Areas like that are really going to be watching out for very windy and rainy conditions as they're closer to the marital parts of this storm. But let's take a look at the winter storm warnings and what to expect for certain areas if my Wi-Fi would not commit suicide. There we go. Move this off to the side here. So, Hudson, Bergen, Essex, Union, Westchester, New York, Manhattan, Bronx, Richmond, Kings, Queens. Expect 14 to 18 inches and winds gusting as high as 45. Now, with that being said, hang on. With that being said, there is definitely the potential for blizzard conditions throughout these areas. I don't know if it'll warrant a blizzard warning. I don't think it will, truth be told. But you are definitely going to be dealing with some very gusty winds at times, particularly midday tomorrow. You're going to be talking about winds gusting as high as 50 to 55, some models showed, with sustained winds as high as 20 or 25 miles an hour. So it's going to be very, very dangerous if you're talking about trying to travel. I would advise no one to travel in the kind of conditions that we're going to be dealing with. So 14 to 18, gusting as high as 45 miles an hour, and they do mention blizzard-like conditions possible Monday and Monday evening. Keep an extra flashlight, food, and water in your vehicle in case of an emergency if you must travel. Check your local Department of Transportation Information Services on the latest road conditions. So you're going to have to keep that all in mind if you're going to try and travel. Traveling is seriously ill-advised here. As we move closer out towards Long Island to Suffolk and Nassau, 6 to 16, and those gusts are getting higher as you're getting closer to the deepening of the low pressure. So it's from midnight tonight to 6 a.m. Tuesday, so all of tomorrow you're going to be dealing with winter storm warnings in these areas. Blizzard-like conditions possible Monday to Monday evening. Some mixing of sleet and rain could limit snowfall totals. But with that being said, when the low moves out of the area, you're going to be wrapping around the cold air behind it. So particularly areas that are going to be dealing with temperatures that could go up and down, above freezing and below freezing on the temperature gradient. You're going to have to watch, because when the cold air comes back around, those areas could freeze, and it's going to make for even hazardous travel days and days after the fact. You're going to have to keep that in mind. Orange, Putnam, Rockland, northern Westchester. So this is southeastern New York, north and east of New York City, just on the border of New Jersey. 14 to 18 and gusts as high as 35. So they're further inland. They aren't going to be dealing as much so with the gusts. Travel can be very difficult to impossible. Keep extra flashlight, food, and water. Check your local DOT. Stuff like that. They just lost to a 42-year-old Zamboni driver who works for their team. Thank you, Dominic. I appreciate your services to society. Keep chat somewhat civil, y'all. In case people actually have questions, I'm just gonna mute you. Middlesex, New London, Southern Middlesex, Southern New London. So this is areas southwest Connecticut. Winter storm warning remains in effect till 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Tuesday, 7 to 13 inches, and gusts as high as 45. So that's also going to account for blizzard-like conditions near the coast and stuff like that. Keep that in mind. You know, mod the chat and keep it civil. Yes, please. Yeah, that'd be appreciated. Passaic, Bergen, Essex, Union. So this is areas just south and west of New York City. Winter storm warning for 14 to 18 inches and 35 mile an hour gusts. So they're talking about like further inland. You're not going to be dealing as much so with the gusts. So just keep that in mind if you happen to reside in these areas. If you're further along the coast, you're going to be dealing with the windier conditions. Obviously, if you're right along the coast, you could deal with up to 60 miles per hour wind gusts, quite frankly. As the deepening of low pressure occurs, it's saying to get down to about 990, depending on where or not it meanders. So you're going to... Why did my Xbox turn on? So you're going to have to keep that all in mind. Stork 2, good job, Lance. Fairfield, New Haven, winter storm warning for 11 to 16 and gusts as high as 50. So that's talking about southeastern Connecticut, where you're going to be talking about gustier conditions closer to the low pressure and closer to the strengthening of the low pressure. And obviously up to a foot of snowfall, potentially even more than that. It's also possible. Blizzard-like conditions can be expected. Newcastle, Monmouth, Salem, Gloucester, Camden, Burlington, Philadelphia. So this is southeastern Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, stuff like that. This is also northern Delaware. Winter storm warning remains in effect until 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. Heavy mixed precip expected. Total snow of 7 to 15 and ice accumulations up to 1/10 of an inch. Winds gusting as high as 45. So that's also blizzard conditions if you can get sustained periods of snow. The ice is going to be very difficult in terms of, like, even the Department of Transportation people that are trying to travel and clear the roads. So if you're in those areas, you need to keep that in mind, that DOT might not even be able to get out to clear the roads, just for the safety of themselves as well. Further down, Sussex, Warren, Morris, Carbon, Monroe, Lehigh, Northampton. So this is northeastern and eastern Pennsylvania, as well as northern and western New Jersey. Total snow accumulations of 18 to 22 inches are expected for these areas. So you have to keep that in mind. The heaviest snowfall could occur in those areas. Not so much going to be dealing with the winds at that point, but the snow's just going to pile on. So you're going to have to keep that in mind. If you're in those areas, you might be snowed in, metaphorically and literally. Any stroke moments? Yeah, couple. Hunterdon, Somerset, Middlesex, Mercer, Upper Bucks, Lower Bucks. So this is southeastern Pennsylvania as well as central New Jersey, closer to the coastline. Winter storm warning remains in effect from 5 p.m. this afternoon to 1 p.m. Tuesday. So snow accumulations of 16 to 22, as well as gusts as high as 35. You're getting closer to the coast, but you're also getting closer to where the bear's cage is in terms of the low pressure and temperature gradient. So where that is, you're going to be talking about heavier snowfall totals. You have to bear that in mind. Sullivan, Bradford, Susquehanna, Wayne, Wyoming, Lackawanna, Luzerne, Pike, southern Wayne. This is southern and eastern Pennsylvania again. Winter storm warning for 12 to 18 inches with locally higher amounts. You're not going to be dealing with the winds inland. So if you're in these areas like Monticello, Sayre, Towanda, Halstead, Montrose, Damascus, Equinunk, Tunkhannock, what kind of name is that? Scranton, Hazleton, Wilkes-Barre, Milford, and Honesdale. You have to keep that in mind. Not so much winds, but more heavy snow to be in these areas. And that's it for the warnings, at least for right now. Now, I'm going to bear in mind going in the future that we could also continue to deal with lack of abilities to speak English. That's what we're going to be dealing with. Blizzard conditions. So depending on whether or not models uptrend enough to warrant a blizzard warning, we could see that up and along the coast, considering that precip types is supposed to be all snow around there. So I'm going to move this out of the way and make sure it's above my webcam. So yeah, bear that in mind if you happen to be in those areas. So particularly, let me go down here a little bit. So particularly where we would be talking about blizzard conditions, probably be closer to around here, where we're talking about the heavier snowfall totals, and the windy conditions along the coast actually can kind of cut off this. So you wouldn't really be talking about it here. Let's just do this. There we go. Really, this area you could be talking about a blizzard warning, really anywhere along the coast where the precip type's going to be snow. So really up and along here, up through the New York metro area and down. That would be where your blizzard warning would be located. Really no widespread blizzard warnings if you're talking about... What am I trying to relate this to? I'm trying to relate this to the Midwest, where they have really gusty winds with the deepening low pressures there, but this is going to be nothing like it. It's a nor'easter. So if where the precip type is all snow and where they're mentioning gusts as high as 45, 50, something like that, you could be in the potential for a blizzard warning. So bear that in mind. Something notably as well, coastal flood warning is going to be impacting the majority of coastal locations with the winds moving ashore. You're going to be talking about inundations 2 to 3 to 6 feet, potentially even in the lower lying spots. So relate this to sort of a lesser storm surge if you're talking about hurricanes. So you have to bear that in mind if you happen to live along the coastline, have more vulnerable areas to high tides and stuff like that. You're going to want to move whatever you can out of the areas that might be dealing with tidal issues as high tide comes on Tuesday. You're going to be talking about that would be the main time in which there would be a big issue to watch out for coastal flooding. Light snow here in St. Louis. So I wanted to actually take a look because I saw somebody mention that they wanted me to look in DC, and we are getting a bunch of snowfall reports here. 3 inches. And a mesonet station. What's this guy saying? Transition over freezing rain, measured 3 inches as 136. The last hour reported 2 inches, recorded using a ruler. Roads are a little slushy, but were cleared by DOT. So there you go. So yeah, taking a look at DC, you can definitely see where the gradient is located that's separating the rain from snow right about here. Anywhere really south of this is getting rain, where north of it's getting snow, and some heavier pockets of snow right in here, as you can see. So you can see also gusty winds impacting the area. Granted, this is looking pretty high up in the sky. Hey, the marine warning got canceled. There was a marine warning earlier for Florida, and that got canceled. But anyhow, I'm going to switch over to KDocs just to see what we could be dealing with as well. Up and around these areas, and in fact, I need to download something. Chicago got almost a foot. Yeah, that's definitely believable. So you can see down here, wow, very heavy snowfall up near where the temperature gradient is. Very short intermission. Anyway. Heavier snowfall up near where the heavier rainfall totals are and where it's actually toying with the temperature gradient. Okay, what is this? Why is this a thing? Damn it. Alright. Storm overperformed for me. It was forecast to get 2 to 4, but I got 6. So that's what that's something that you're gonna have to keep in mind for areas north and east. Like I mentioned earlier, northern Jersey into the metro and then out and around. With the winds and snow, you're gonna be talking about drifts that are gonna get to very high amounts, and areas closer to the coastline are gonna be dealing with the gusty winds as well as the heavy snowfall. So if you have any questions, please put them in chat. Please. Only got 1.5 Fs. Crap. I'm just trying to deal with some spotter network stuff, chat. All right. Oh my god, y'all chill in chat, please. Beg. Alright. I'm going to go through models in a sec. But yeah. Yeah, any questions, put them in the chat as I go through. So as we go through the model runs here, I'm waiting on the HRRR to run so I can discuss that. As to what to expect. Might actually show the point that I'm trying to look at. So as you can see on the HRRR, with the deepening of the low pressure, you can almost see snow that's pulsing north and west. Near the center low pressure, it's starting to pulse up in these directions. So that's something to bear in mind with the convective energy here. You have to bear in mind that there could be some snow squalls that actually develop from this. That's also something that you're going to need to monitor. Snow squall warnings are definitely a possibility. In fact, I want to come back over here and check. Yeah, there is still lightning density. It was funny. I was looking at it the other day. Yeah, there's a little bit. Thunder snow. Yeah, with 0.03 lightning density. Let's go. Anyhow. But you can see in these areas with the snow pulsing from the center of low pressure, you're going to have to bear that in mind. Snow squalls are definitely a legitimate threat with these, with this low pressure system. Wind gusts could definitely be higher in said squalls and pulses, and convective pulses. So let's just take a look at wind gusts on the newest run here as it takes a little bit to load, but you can definitely see up and along the coast, winds getting into the 40 and 50 mile an hour range. As you get up towards Long Island, even 60s. And then up and along the coast, you can see getting inland 50, 60 maybe even, and then up towards the northern New Jersey area, 38, 40, stuff like that. Of course, as the low pressure starts to shift north and east, conditions will get worse up and around these areas as the low pressure starts to get deeper, per se. Good afternoon, good day. Afternoon, day, same thing. My spotter network's being fuss. Whoa, I am bot. A lot of notifications, so we're just gonna take a look at this. A lot of coastal flood stuff, it appears. Nearly whiteout conditions here in southern Delaware. Yeah, that is to be expected as the low starts to get stronger. So if I go back to radar here, you can see strong areas of snow impacting the southern Delaware area, particularly even closer further south into Maryland. You're getting about 40 dBz snowfall. In terms of reports, you can see 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 3, 1.5, etc. Is there a spotter network report here? Yeah, there is. Snow intensity increased, and that's to be expected. I'm going to drop back to KDix, and we'll keep it there for now. We can go back to one panel. Two panels is dumb. Morgan drops on? Yes. All day long. And tomorrow I'm going to have a fun time. Yeah, lighter snow extending all the way up here. Yeah, lighter snow you can see extending all the way up. Nothing actually coming down on the ground here. Can confirm up here in northeast Jersey. Really nothing coming down there. right now. But it is only about 10 dBZs and it's snow. So it's, I mean, it's just does DC have? Well, I'm just going to look at reports here. You can see about 2 just outside near Arlington. So I'll take about that, maybe a little more or less, give or take an inch, depending on where you are. It could be localized, and you could have to factor in for drifts as well. I want a damn blizzard. Well, that's fun. Or you're supposed to pronounce it KDIX, not KDix. Well, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? It's spelled as such for a reason. Hello, I am late. You're a little bit late. No big deal. This stream's going to be shorter because I have to, I might do reporting and stuff like that later on. So you have to bear that in mind, too. Plus, I kind of want to relax a little bit because the next day and a half or so is going to be very intensive. Dominic blew up Malaysia again. Oh, Lord. Jesus. You can see winds start to increase in this area to 40, 45 gusts. But what we'll do is we'll come take a look at totally accumulated snowfall, which counts for what actually comes on the ground. And we can see with time going along, you can see it starts to implode over northern New Jersey, and that's by tomorrow afternoon. You can see areas like northern New Jersey and Sussex County, 22 inches. Then if you're drifting east of that, 16, 17, 15, stuff like that, just over a foot. Ender thinks I look dead inside. Oh boy. KOKX issues tornado warning, PDS observed for Bergen County until 3 p.m. Well, that's just epic games. Why don't I see anything? New York City might get mixed precip. Depends on if marital heat actually comes inland, which it doesn't look like it will, truth be told. At least not from what I'm seeing. Yay, 25 inches. God. Does my tooth hurt? Ow. Anyway. DC's almost done with the snow. Yeah, because the front's about to wrap around. Stuff like that. So they're going to get rain. Rest in peace is my arms when I start to shovel. Winter weather seems interesting, but so boring to learn. Yeah. So there's a bunch of variables with it. That's too thick. What the hell? This is a low shoves everything inland. Gonna be talking about those areas getting the most snowfall, quite frankly. And if we take a look back at precip, yeah, you can see the snow pulses almost convectively, and then as the low starts to turn the corner, it gets a lot heavier Monday afternoon. But looks like it might clear up earlier than expected, which is good if people are trying to commute on Tuesday. Logan just said to me, rest in peace my arms when I start shoveling. Alright, here, last year, we got nothing. We had no use for a snowblower or anything like that. Why would we need a use for it now? How am I supposed to know? Do you think the rain west of DC is coming to DC? Yeah, 100%. 100%. Y'all are going to switch over either to light snow or rain as time goes along. Should be pretty shortly. I'm going to end this stream sooner rather than later. If people don't have questions, I'm not going to hold you all up. Pretty much went through everything. But the main thing here, you guys need, in terms of preparations, I actually didn't really mention that all too much. If you need to travel, please be sure to have extra food, water, and flashlight with you guys. If you may have to stay in your car for a night, as highways become very dangerous. In addition, if you have any open water pipes or something like that, that might freeze over. I mean, obviously it's freezing right now, but might freeze over now. You need to attend to those ASAP. Get those covered and so that your water doesn't have any issues with its piping. I can't really think of anything else. I would just have a lot of non-perishables in case the power does happen to go out in the gusty winds if you happen to live in these areas. Not so much for the city because the city's power lines are underground. But I think that's mostly going to be it from me. You just got to be safe. Got to monitor everything. You can't just go out here not knowing anything at all. Can't just take a blind bat at it. So, with that being said, I think that can pretty much wrap it up. I appreciate you all tuning in to this winter weather briefing. If you guys did enjoy this winter weather briefing, please be sure to leave a like rating down below. Also, hit the subscribe button if you guys are new around here, and click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I go live or post a new video. I'll probably go live either tonight or tomorrow again. But with that being said, that'll be it for me. I'll see you guys in the next winter weather, severe weather, or something, whatever, live stream or video or something. I post on my channel a lot. Y'all will see it. Take care. Peace out.